Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, Co-Creating with Citizens, Open Data and Challenges for Mobile Apps, presented by Rudy Bormann, Open Government and Innovation Director of the City of Buenos Aires, Argentina, and Joaquin Alvarez, Digital Business Strategist from the Barcelona City Council in Spain. My name is Victor Mulas, and I am an ICT innovation specialist leading projects for the bank on smart cities and urban innovation ecosystems, and I will be your moderator today. This webinar is part of a series on smart cities. This series is jointly organized by the ICT and Urban Practices of the World Bank, and it facilitates dialogues on how cities can make use of data and technology to improve city planning, management and service delivery, engage citizens, and enhance accountability, which is part of what is commonly called smart cities. The webinar today will discuss how opening city data and reframe government structure empower citizens and facilitate development of cost-saving solutions to service delivery. What are the roles of government, CSOs, the media, and citizens, how to communicate data, engage citizens, and bring innovation using apps and challenges, as well as privacy issues of big data. The first presentation will feature how the City of Buenos Aires is working to empower citizens, improve service delivery, and create an innovative city, introducing the Buenos Aires Push and Pull strategy for open government, providing supply as a platform through open data and open policy as the push, and drawing in the open data community through hackathons, camps, and marketing the creation as the pull. The City of Buenos Aires has hosted 3 city hackathons, with the third engaging more than 400 attendees, and recently launched the Lab, an innovation lab of the city that is a co-working space for public policy and new technologies. The second presentation will introduce initiatives in Barcelona that are trying to make government more open, entrepreneurial, and lean, creating new and innovative opportunities for delivering government products, services, and processes, and incubating innovation capacity in the mobile, professional, and civic society arenas. We are very pleased to have Rudy and Joaquin as our speakers today. Let me briefly introduce them. Rudy Bormann is the Open Government and Innovation Director for the City of Buenos Aires, a local initiative designed by him which focuses in 2 main areas, open data and open government culture, and which officially launched in March 2012. Previously, he was the social media editor at the New Media Office, working since 2009 in the development of the social infrastructure for the City of Buenos Aires. Joaquin Alvarez is a digital business strategist at Barcelona City Council. He is passionate about technology and has broad experience from software developer to executive positions in IT development projects. In this capacity, Joaquin leads the implementation of the Apps for Barcelona project, which aim is to boost the entrepreneurial mobile industry in the city of Barcelona. He is also responsible for the communication strategy and engagement dialogue with internal and external clients and providers. Without further ado, let me ask Rudy to start his presentation.
Thank you very much, Victor, and good morning to everyone. Here. Okay, so I'm going to take 15 minutes to tell you about the story of the city of Buenos Aires and the work we have been doing since 2012. The Open Government Initiative for the city began in 2012. That's when we did the presentation to the public of the initiative. Buenos Aires is a huge city. It's a city of almost 3 million people, with many more commuting every day. So it's a very interesting place, interesting city to work with, and it's a great challenge to do open government in a city like Buenos Aires. So looking back to the project, the city began in 2008, working a lot, using social media and going digital, not also in infrastructure, also on protocols, on manuals, on social media, understanding that this was a new way to communicate with citizens and start sharing more information. So the next obvious step was start like developing an open government project. The outcomes and the objectives of the open government project for the city were always these three ideas: empower citizens, improving service delivery, and create an ecosystem of innovation for the city. Not only outside the city, but also inside the government. We always understood that this strategy needed to have also the people that work from the government already engaged with this kind of ideas. So at the beginning, we understood, and going specifically on talking about open data, that we needed to develop a strategy where nobody knew too much about open data, especially inside the government. And outside the government, we knew that there was already a small community in the city that was working with data, journalists, developers, some people from the academic community. So we developed this kind of, as we call it, with this push and pull strategy, where we needed to start releasing information and then trying to bring a community to work with that information, because we were kind of alone at that moment. So for the open government strategy, the three main areas that we were working were open data, open services, and open policy. So we understood that not only we needed to start releasing data, we need a framework for that data, a norm and a legal framework for the data, and we needed to start like opening also services to start sharing with the community. So at the beginning of 2012, we launched in March 2012. We launched Buenos Aires data, which is the data portal for Buenos Aires, and you can take a look at it on data.buenosaires.gov.ar. I will then share the URL with you. The page you're watching right now, it's our second version of the site, which is much more friendly to the user. We incorporate these icons to navigate the data in a more friendly way, because we understood that we needed to do it in a more friendly way. So we took a lot of work to make it friendly, because we saw many of the data catalogs in many other cities and countries were kind of very hard to understand, hard to navigate, and we wanted to do it a little bit more friendly. also understanding that developers or the people that were going to use the data, they wanted to get to the data as fast as it can. So we are very happy with this second version of the portal, and we will be doing a third iteration of the catalog probably next year, trying to also keep having a catalog that it's fun to use, but it's also useful to use. Okay, so we understood that open data by itself, it wasn't enough, that we needed to start creating space and creating a dialogue with the community to start co-creating. And it was a challenge because when we thought about doing a hackathon city, and this was the first time in Argentina, in my country, that a hackathon was organized by the government, it became a challenge to communicate that inside the government and also outside the government. The first time that the government was calling developers to work together on this event, so it was pretty intense. But we finally did it. Our first hackathon in 2012. We started promoting the idea of this event that was meant to co-create services and solutions with people from the government and also developers and people from civil society. And it was great. But we understood that we had to do a lot of effort inside the government to spread the word around what was this hackathon, what it's all about. And I think it's a very important lesson that we learn, because the hackathon it not also helps a lot in to create products and services, but also to show the kind of very strong and powerful example of what someone else can do with data. And this example was great, especially for people from the government that came to the hackathon, people that is running specific problems and bring the data to the hackathon, and they saw the kind of things that you can get done in 24 or 48 hours and have a product finished with your data. And I think these kind of conversations are absolutely are very important. Sometimes we have a lot of pressure in hackathons around what kind of product is going to come up. And I think we need to start thinking about hackathons as a way to enjoy the conversation that it's created in the hackathon around a lot of people that wants to help to develop solutions to the problem. And this is very important, because many times when we were talking around data and the people from, I don't know, someone that doesn't know too much around hackathons and data, and we told them, you should come, you should bring the data to the event. They don't believe too much in what is going to happen, or they are a little bit afraid of this is something new, or it's too technological or whatever. And when they come and when they see, in a way they can see a finished app, and when they can see that there is a big conversation, that the result it's really important. So one of the advice I will give to someone doing this, it's to understand these kind of events as a way to create momentum inside also the government, to see to lose some fears. So here are some examples of the community in Buenos Aires. We were, as I told before, very lucky. Buenos Aires is it has a huge community. Here you can see the guys from the RubyConf conference, the JS conference, the Data Fest, which is crazy to have a Data Fest in Buenos Aires. I mean, I think 5 years ago or 4 years ago, you couldn't thought about having a Data Fest, and now we are having a Data Fest once a year. The City Camp, Developing America Latina, which is a huge hackathon that runs all over Latin America in many cities and many countries. TEDx, Hackers, Obarcam. I mean, so there was already people that we could bring to the table and start a conversation with them. And I think this is a very important part of the strategy around open data. And it's trying to find the people from the community that can help you, interpret that information and create products and create value over that information in a faster way that can help to reach to other citizens that are probably not don't have the technical skills of the knowledge around data. As I always say, my mom is not going to come to an open data portal, but my mom is going to use an app that has been created through a hackathon or through an app contest, etc., etc. So the strategy was for promoting open data was, as I told, the hackathon was very important. We ran already 2 app contests for the city, which were like very successful, and we are publishing all those applications. I will also share the links for that in a while. We start talking with universities. We start doing workshops, talks, meetings. We organize inside the government a GovCamp, a meeting, an unconference of people that work for the government, also to promote conversations around the issues of innovation, technology, and data, but also to create conversations between the government. So, so these are some examples of things we have been doing to help community, also helping other events that were related to open data, to language, to coding, trying to start like a dialogue and keep very, very close to the community. So, tu capacidad es tu comunidad. Your capacity is your community, and this should be like some kind of motto that you should be hanging in your office if you work with open data, understanding that that's where your real value lies. These are some photos of our hackathons. That one important thing about this photo is that you don't see any computer on this hackathon. This is some 2 girls from civil society that came from the first time to start trying to create some kind of social network around education, and they spend like the two days like working on these kind of ideas on paper. And this is when I really believe on the hackathon as a way to create dialogues, meaningful dialogues for the people that comes. Paula Fabiana to blind musicians that came to the hackathons to create a platform for learn music that was created in 24 hours. Really amazing. We saw the potential that these kind of events have, just having an idea. And smart, this was a smart garbage can that can read using Arduino the kind of trash that you are putting in the trash can. We are now doing this was a prototype, but now we are releasing that we are doing 1 final product, 7 final products to release in the city. Como to move around the city, we try to think about how make it for people that can, disabled people that can work or need some help. We try to see how this application was created by the city, and the code of this application was shared with the community to try to find ways to improve this kind of application. That it's also a very important thing for us. Buenos Aires is one of the first cities in Latin America that it's releasing and publishing all the code of their applications. So you can just take a look of what we're doing and create your own version and trying to help us to create a better version of that. I think that's like something really, really important, and it has the same logic of opening data. Some of the projects of the hackathon, this was a parking spot for bikes, also using SMS to open the parking slots and bring your bike here. Also working with slums and trying to see how you can You can create data to visualize the slums in the city, which are pretty invisible in some different kinds of maps. So we were working with OpenStreetMap to make this visible to the people. A really interesting kind of work. Conversations. And after 2 years of working with open data in the community and creating momentum, we understood we needed to create a space that keeps doing like Trotsky's books, the permanent revolution, the permanent hackathon, an office that will be working all the time with citizens, an office that can do hackathons on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, a place where you can co-create and make results in a faster way. So this is what we launched last year. We are right now working with this Gov Lab, which has these kind of 3 specific objectives: connect people, accelerate projects, and incubate projects. And it has been an amazing adventure. I think it's a logical adventure after working with data around the city. And when you work with data around the city, you start getting connected also with projects, with people. And when we saw that ecosystem, we understood we needed to accelerate that and create a space that can help you develop projects, develop solutions in a faster way. So this is where we are working right now. The lab, it's like, as we call it, like the 3rd iteration of the Open Government Initiative in Buenos Aires. These are kind of the 3 areas which the lab is working right now. The community, as I already said, hackathons, GovCamp, contests, meetups. The digital innovation and accelerator, which is an area of the lab where we have a program of resident innovators. When we push rapid prototyping for products, which is something that doesn't come very often in government. You know, in government, prototype it's a word that doesn't come too often. We start also experimenting with Internet of Things projects and also creating a fab lab for the city and experimenting with sensors and trying also to help to create new data. Not also we are working with agencies to open that data, but also we are also experimenting with these new kind of very cheap technologies that can help you to understand the way the city works. And finally, of course, the Open Data Initiative and the Data Lab, which is a new kind of service that we are bringing to the government, that it's based on understand data and create visualizations and create models and create products based on data that can be helpful to many other areas. I think I don't have much time less. These are some photos of our government lab. This is the section in the Buenos Aires Gov site where we are showing the applications that are being created by the city, but also the applications that come out from hackathons and also from our app contest. We are promoting those applications. We are talking with the developers that work with those applications, helping them to promote the products and create examples using data and also fostering economy. So I'm 2 minutes over the time, so very sorry. So I will let Joaquin to keep talking. Thank you very much.
Just highlight the speaker you want the question to be addressed. Joaquin, please.
Okay, good afternoon to everybody, to all the assistants. Thank you very much, Victor, and very interesting presentation, Rudy. We have to talk about it, and maybe we will find some collaboration in the future. So let me explain a little bit about what we're doing here in Barcelona. I wanted to show you a little bit, explain you a little bit about the project Apps for BCM project that resumes a little bit all the idea of what we do with open data and how we are dealing with the citizens, the tourists, and all the professional system here in Barcelona. Basically, the mission of the project, the strategy is first of all to improve the quality of the life of the people who's living here in Barcelona, not only living, but if they are visitors, they are tourist people, we want to improve the experience being here in Barcelona. The second one, we want to promote the use of mobile applications as the new channel relationship with a smart and intelligent city like it's Barcelona, to make all the applications to run the city and to visit all the places. Third, we want Barcelona to be as a laboratory for all the entrepreneurs where they can develop these applications here in Barcelona and they can use the brand of Barcelona as a reference to promote their solutions internationally. I think that this is very important for the entrepreneur people. Fourth, we want the Absolutely project to be a meeting point for all the professionals in the mobile sector. And when I talk about professionals, I talk about anyone that it's related, it has a relationship with the development of applications here. I mean, talking about developers, graphic designers, or maybe marketing specialists, to share all this knowledge, ideas, and business collaboration between them. We want to take advantage of all the entrepreneurial potential that we have here, all the talent that we have here in the city, not only for the people who's from the city, from Barcelona, from Catalonia, from Spain, but also from a lot of people, foreign people that is living already here in Barcelona, that they love the city and they do things for other people in another country. So we think that we have a good place to work, and we want to use all these advantages that we have. At the end, we would like to give advantages to this professional ecosystem in all the live mobile project management, all the cycle of the project. We want to give support from the beginning, when you have the idea, when you try to develop, when you try to find your partners, your investors, when you start developing the application, when you start testing the application, and finally when you try to make it international, your application. We want to give you support in all the phases of the project. At least, but not last, the thing is we want Barcelona to become an international reference. Like I said before, we want all the entrepreneurs to use the city of Barcelona as a reference to make it international. So that was the mission, the vision, a little bit of the project, which are the objectives of the project, and so it's what we want to achieve. How we want to achieve, how we are going to do it is with the action lines, and then we have 4 main action lines, which is the lab, live, the community, and the portal. So I'm going to start for the first one. Lab understood as a laboratory. Here in this slide, what you have a little bit is the resume, the resume of all the actions that we have done here in Barcelona. We started like in 2011 in December, making the first hackathon. If you see the bubbles are hackathons, and the squares are internal workshops that we have done with the different departments inside of the town hall, right? So you could see we started a little bit small with BCN Apps Jam. Then we did a Hat at Home that is a little bit different with a hackathon. In a hackathon, you close all the developers 24 hours in a room, and in the end you have like a mock-up or some idea a little bit developed. But if you have a hack at home, we do the same thing. We explain your requirements, and at the same time I'm answering a question that is here in the chat, because they ask if you tell all the problems that we have. Yeah, this is the main objective of the hackathon. The main objective of the hackathon is that the business, the department of the Barcelona City Council, tells all the problems that they have from the business, from the point of view of the business, And the developers, they try to make a solution that gives a solution to these problems, right? So we started, like I said, in the end of 2011, and you could see that we have been really active. We have done, the first one, it was a general apps for VCN, like this, but later we have done it for culture, for tourism. Now I'm repeating again for culture because it's one of the things that really we think it's interesting for the developers and for the citizens. And we did another one with social issues, right? So it's very important, the both. So the hackathons for the citizens, for the tourists and the developers, and at the same time, the internal workshops that we do here in the Barcelona City Council are very important as well, because we show to all the departments, the culture, tourism, wherever the department it is, we show how they can use the new mobile technologies to renew this relationship model with providers and clients, citizens, tourists, etc. Okay. Next one, live. Live, basically what it is where all the people explains, like a pitch elevator, where all the entrepreneurs can explain what they have done. The people or the target here are the entrepreneurs, the investors, and all the business at the same time. We have different programs in this site. We have, for example, the app of the day, which is a program that everybody explains what is the application for. We have another program which is called Born in Barcelona. Born in Barcelona, we make interviews to all the entrepreneurs that not only they are Catalan and they are being successful outside of Barcelona, but it could be foreign people that is living here in Barcelona and they are making some application for the city, for moving around, for tourist issues, whatever. We don't care about your nationality. We care about if you are from Barcelona or you are making something for the city, right? So we have different events. For example, we did an event with Google where they explained all the tools they have for the developers and all the advantages they have. We did the same thing with Apple, for example, that they explained all the framework they have to develop applications, and we are doing it one day after another, events like this for the developers mostly. The third one, well, here you have a slide just to explain a little bit what are the live events that we have already done. Okay. The third one is the community. The community is a little bit, we try to make this relationship with the whole community the whole year, the 365 days a year. And basically what we do here, we act like a hub for all the services that you can find and they can be useful for you to develop an application. So for example, we go to the universities, and if they do a master oriented to mobility, we talk with them and we try to get advantages for the people of our community to do this master, for example, a discount or some kind of advantage. This is talking about universities, but for example, it could be another company that is making digital marketing. We talk with them, we learn what are they doing, and then we try to give advantages to our community to use the same service. So there are services of the community that can be used for the community. And at least what we have, well, here we have a slide where you could see a little bit which is the dynamic between the community. For example, if you look at the left of the slide, you could see the apps for the CN ecosystem, which is related with another ecosystems like the web ecosystem, the open data ecosystem, the accessibility system, and the contactless ecosystem. Okay. So those are projects that have to be, you want it or not, they have to be related with the apps for VCM project. And on the right of the slide, what you could see is that in the app part, the first thing we do, we talk with the private sector, and we try to know what are they doing. The objective is that the Barcelona City Council doesn't want to develop any service that is already developed in the private sector, okay? Because we don't want to do it again. We want to know this service, we want to promote this service, and we want that the community use their service. For example, App Futura, to talk about one example, App Futura is a marketplace when you have an idea and then you publish the idea there, and all the developers of the community of App Futura, they tell you, they give you a budget, they'll tell you what they can do for you, whatever. So we did not implement these kind of services from the Barcelona City Council. We call to this provider and we try to make a synergy between them. The same thing we do if we step down with public sector, the same thing we do with all the public organizations that already are doing something for the mobile sector, right? We talk with them and we try to collect all the services and try to publish in our website for the community, so they can find all the advantages that they can use. And in the end, inside of the Barcelona City Council, there are a lot of projects like Open Data, Code for Europe, that I know there is another Code for America, for example, in the USA. So we try to find at the same time synergies between all these projects as well. The third one, it's important as well because it's like the result of the project, is the portal. Here what we have is that the entrepreneurs can publish their applications that are useful for living or visiting Barcelona. And we have all these applications divided into 16 categories for tourism, for moving around the city, for eating, for going out at night. And we have also like 200 experts making reviews of all the applications that are very, very useful. So here we are giving service to the entrepreneurs because they can publish the applications. We are giving service to the citizens because they can easily find which are the applications that they can use to move around the city. And on the other hand, we give visibility to all the experts of the apps for the CM project against the mobile sector. Right. At the same time, I wanted to explain a little bit about the Open Data project. What we have here basically is we have like 200 data sets already opened. We are open it every day. Not every day, but every week. We keep on working with all the departments. We talk with them. We make this evangelization work, if you can say that, talking to them about all the advantages that they will have if they open their data, which could be all the functionalities they will find, all the advantages. And we are making this website better and better and better every day. So the result of this is that we have applications already that are working using all the open data of the Barcelona City Council, and at the same time they are giving service to the citizens and to the tourist people here in Barcelona. So what we have here, we do the hackathons, for example, and we explain all the problems that we have from the Barcelona City Council.
From the questions that we
give
have been
all the open data that you will need as a developer
to
develop all the applications.
So I would like to start with this one.
And in the end, between a lot of applications that have been presented in the hackathon. So it's not one, but it's the best of a group of applications that have been presented in the hackathon. So we think that it's a very good application.
What is your advice in terms of
and I think this is the end of the presentation.
The problems that you need.
Thank you very much.
And then the community that you invite. So Rudy, please, you can address that.
Okay, I think I read a question.
Yes, let's see. With a specific hackathon, when the issue is very specific, we try to connect with the community and professionals that are related to that project. For example, our last hackathon was around garbage, separation of recyclable garbage. So we try to bring every professional organization from the private sector, from the academic sector, from the civil society that has something to do with the problem, but also it's open to anyone that wants to give a hand around that. We already have a great contact with the developer community, so that's something that you always need. But what we're trying to do is also to show that we can bring more people in that can help, not only developers, which are really necessary, designers, etc. But also we try to make it as open as we can. But you need to make sure to have on the table the people that are more connected and work with that problem in the government, in the city, in the private sector, etc.
Well, the actors, the people that we invite to a hackathon, first is the industry. The industry is the one that has the idea or has the problems that they want to solve. Second, there are the developers. The developers could be program developers, or could be graphic designers, or marketing experts, whatever. And the third one, but a little bit less, is the investors, because they like to know which are the ideas that are going to be developed. So it could be interesting after the hackathon if they, after a networking, they get together and try to finish the project.
The other question that is
Incentive.
that we are related
let's be honest. What they need the entrepreneur right now is money. So this is the best incentive that you can have. The other one incentive that is not money. If you give the trust, if you give the confidence to the people that you are going to be with them, trying to develop a little bit more the application, the idea, because you're the Barcelona City Council and you can go with them. You will help them in communications issues. You will help them into all the development of the application. This is a good goal as well, and it's for free. And this is what we do now from the actual
I will start again with Rudy.
Another thing that we do in the hackathons is we try to do all the open data that we have related with this business issue. For example, now we're making a hackathon for culture, and we're using two open data actually. One European, which is the project Europeana. Europeana is an open data culture dataset at European level, and at the same time we're using all the datasets that the department of the culture department here in Barcelona City Council that have already opened it specifically for this hackathon. And this is my answer.
Yeah, well, in our, I think it's a very good question, and I think it's very important, especially for those who work in the government. It's super important to have the support of the main authority in the government, being a mayor or the president or whatever, and also the ministries. This was super essential in a way that these initiatives are, in some cases, new, and and very specific. It demands a lot of work from the government to open data. It's not an easy task. It's something that comes like a new. It's like a new thing that you need to do in your work. So sometimes it feels like, oh, now I need to start like opening the data. Why should I do this? So you need to have that support. Of course, that it's not enough. In our case, in Buenos Aires, we have an executive order from the mayor, but he's also very engaged with the initiative. So I think it's key to convince them, to have them convinced to start working in a more faster way. That's my answer. Sorry.
Well, I would say that the political support
Thank you
is
very much. We have
important.
another
It's
question
so important.
that is also related to
The
both
first
of you.
thing, you have to do is the first goal have to be
he's asking
that they have to see which is the return of investment of
in
opening the data, no? Because as Rudy says, and you're very right,
you highlight
this is an effort. Open the data for all the public administrations. It means really an effort, because first of all you have to organize all your data. Then maybe you have not organized all your data, you know. So first of all you have to organize everything in order to be presented to the public, no? So that is the first effort you have to do without no return of investment. And the second one is that you have to introduce the idea to all the politicians about all the benefits of the big data, which is the next step of the opening data. No, we have the open data, you make applications, and thanks to applications, then you have a lot of data of how the citizens are using the application, how the citizens are moving around the city, and you have to show all the politicians which are the benefits of having all of this information.
What kind of changes? Well, I think after 2 years and a half working on this, we already see that many agencies are understanding what the importance of data, and understanding that the investment they are doing in IT should have open data as a dead end of that. So there is an awareness around open data, which is like I think it's a great accomplishment in any kind of initiative, that you already have departments talking about open data and understanding the value in terms of creating great applications for the people, for the citizens, and for the industry.
What kind of
but also
advice can you provide on this question?
To see that data can help you to deliver better services, also to your own specific area. So what we saw is that it's a growing conscious around the importance of open data, not just for outside users, but also from the specific agencies that then now can see that they can take better decisions based on data, which is something that it's not that common in the government, where you usually are taking guesses around decisions that you make.
Thank you very much. I want to go now to two related questions from Arlet Stojanovic, who is asking more on the lab side. And I see that both of
I think that we
your
have to take the experience that we have
started with
of
hackathons,
the
which are
former
like
period, which is the
events that
electronic
happen all the time.
administration.
But then
And I think
you
that
try to
in
provide
that period,
sustainability with
we
different
took the
models.
experience that
And in the case of Buenos Aires, it's
to
institutionalized
publish
in the lab idea.
an
In the case of
application
Barcelona, it's
as
the
an
different
electronic
activities
way
that
in a
you also
website,
call lab, but
it was not
it's
enough.
less.
I mean, in that moment, we realized that you have to take all the procedures and you have to think about it,
Very similar
rethink
models for
about all
different
these
layouts.
procedures, and maybe
I think that
simplify
the question
them,
is related of
make
how
it
do
simple.
you can
Right?
make this happen.
So
in
now we
terms
have
of
to
what
make
is
the
budget
same
that you
exercise.
get
We
for
have
this,
to
how can you
simplify the
finance
processes,
this?
and
In the
that
case of Buenos Aires in
affects
particular
whether or not
how do you
affects
finance
to the
this
organization.
incubation and
So I
acceleration
think this is the
that
way.
happens
First of
and
all, you have to
translates
think about
into
all the services
sustainable
that you want to
business?
do, which are the
So
processes
Rudy,
that
you
are
can
behind
start
of
with your model and
each
can provide
service,
some advice on
and
that.
and then later, which are the people that have to be on the organization that takes part in these processes. And this is the moment when you realize how the organizations need to change.
Yeah, an excellent question. In our case, the budget for supporting the lab comes from my own office. I mean, it's just we try to find an office that it's a government office, that it's also an open space to work with a lot of tables, a great internet connection, and also like a friendly environment with whiteboards and a place where ideas and co-work can work easily, and also that where you can transform the space to run hackathons or talks or workshops or whatever you want to do. So in terms of money, it's not that much. It's part of the budget that I have in the Open Government Office. In terms for the interns and the resident innovators, which are people from the private sector, academic sector, civil society that are going to come to work with us on a specific project for a very, very small amount of time. We are also doing like a specific contract for them with like a symbolic amount of money just to help them for the time they're going to be with us, and it's not a fellowship. We are going to try that for the next 6 months to see how it goes, and then we will see if next year we will be running, for example, some
thank you very much, Rudy.
challenge or
Joaquin,
contest.
In the case of your model,
find the people that want to come to work with us.
This
first semester is going to
financing
be
and budget,
around finding
the sustainability of the applications that come up out of
professionals from the private sector, so maybe 5 or 6 that are going to come to work. We are right now in the process of selecting those guys. And also the lab, it's open for organizing talks. It's free. You can just mail to us in the city, and if you need a space for 50, 60 people to give a talk or organize something, I don't know, a hackathon or whatever, we offer our lab for free to promote, because we understand that it's essential part of promoting a community and promoting an ecosystem.
I think it's very important the change that it supposes this kind of technology that we are using now, because you have to rethink about all the relationship with the providers that you have until now. This has changed a lot. I mean, I think that the development of IT projects that cost like $1 million or 1 million euros, that is gone. Will never appear again. Never, nobody will expend 1 million euros again in IT project. I think so. I will not. The thing is that now we have changed it, and we have 3-4 basic points that you have to look at it when you try to make this kind of project sustainable. First of all, who's going to give you the budget of this project? So I would say from the public institutions, what we give from our project is, first of all, communications issues. That means that we have social media and we have a lot of communications tools that we can use it, and we can use it for free. We can use it for free, but they are really powerful, and when it comes to communicate, to promote an applications, it's priceless, right? So we can give this for free from the city town hall without investing no money, just using our social media to help to all the entrepreneurs. The money, when it comes from them, the money have to come from the private sector. The private sector have to see that the government is involved in the middle of this business, that the government is going to help with the communications issues, and the public sector have to see that the developers, which are the third leg of this triangle, what they are going to give, they're going to give their sweat, if you allow me to do this, the sweat of developing the application, right? So we have the private sector who has the needs, the requirements that they want to solve, and they have the money. We have the public sector who's helping to the people communicating and promoting the applications, and then we have the developers who develop finally the application. So with this ecosystem, you have a sustainable ecosystem. When in the end, for each project, what you have to decide is, first of all, who's going to give the budget, who's going to be, what do you bring to the project. Second, who's going to be the proprietary of the data? This is very important. Third, who's going to be the intellectual proprietary of the software? That's very important too. And in the end, who's going to take the decisions of
let's see.
where is going to go this project, which is going to be the next service, the next functionality that's going to be developed.
Do open data, you don't need a lot of money, you don't need a lot of team. It's something easy to do. It's to start. I mean, something easy to start with. You don't need a huge infrastructure and spend billions of dollars on doing this. You can start like from scratch to find the information that is already there and starting opening and start conversation inside the government. And what it's probably one of the most important things is trying to reach your community, because those are the ones that are going to help you create the case, help you create a stronger case around open data. Those are the ones that can help you interpret, visualize, and transform that data in something that it's useful and something that will create great examples for the people to see. This is a very line of policy making. It's really important. It's going to change everything, but it's still very new. And I think we need to create great stories around those the usage of that data. So I think it's super important to create cases, to show examples. Hackathons are great to show what you can do with data in a really small amount of times. App contests with great awards are also great to show that.
Joaquin,
So
you are mute.
if you're going to begin, start seeing where is your community. Talk to them, organize meeting with them, try to find the kind of information that they need. Then I think the initiative will start rolling out by itself in a more stronger way, having your community next to you.
Sorry. So, you listen? Okay, thank you. So, in my opinion, we are really in a very important period of our lives when it comes to technology, when it comes to relations with the citizens, with the public administrations, and with the whole world, to tell the truth. It looks like when we were in the electronic administration, but now it's getting better, because I think that applications like Facebook, all the social media like Twitter or whatever, they are doing this training with all the citizens for us, and that's great, because all the people is learning how to play with their smartphones. They are learning how to deal with all this technology, and we have to take advantage of this thing to develop the applications that will help us to relate with the citizens and with the providers.
Webinar. I would like to thank the
this is
audience
we
for
have a really
participating,
good chance now.
our two
We have
speakers,
to
Rudy Borman,
work
Open
on
Government
the
and
trust
Innovation Director of the City of
of the
Buenos Aires,
people on
and
the public
Joaquin Alvarez,
administrations
Digital Business
when it comes
Strategist from the
to
Barcelona City
leading the
Council.
data, and we're talking about big
Before
data,
ending,
showing them
I would like to
that
make
it's
three
going to
announcements.
be
The first
only
one is
benefits
that
for them when they give all this
ICT unit
information, that
and
everything
the
will
urban unit are
return to
working
them
together to
into
develop
better
the Citizens
services,
Conference
into
this year
better
again for the
conditions
second time
living in the city,
Barcelona,
and we have
together
to
with the Smart City
make
Expo,
this effort
and
to
it will
make the
be
people see
all
that it's going
about
to be
open
like this,
innovation
that
and
it's not
bottom-up
going to
innovation for city
damage
officials.
their privacy
And all of
or
you are
whatever.
invited
So
to come to this event.
we really
will
have a
be sending
challenge
more
here,
information
and we
in
can
the coming
change a
months.
lot of things.
And then the second announcement is to please fill out the evaluation that we will send after the webinar. We will send the presentations as well as a link of this webinar to your email, so you can access to it at any time. Finally, you are all invited to the next webinar of this series that will be about crowdsourcing citizen inputs, how to develop community mapping and participatory planning, that will be held in August 20. Information can be found on the Institute website that you have in the screen. So thank you very much, and with this we finish the webinar.